Hello, I'd like to welcome everybody here today to the Institution of Mechanical Engineers Vision and Prestige Awards virtual award ceremony, where we're delighted to be celebrating the winners of our Vision and our Prestige Awards. This year the ceremony is in a new format. As you can see, it's being held online due to the pandemic, but we're pleased so many people can join us today as a result to celebrate these awards. My name is Colin Brown. I'm the Chief Executive of the Institution of Mechanical Engineers, and it's my duty to guide you through today's events. As you'll see, we have contributions from all our winners, along with introductions from the excellent team of volunteers who've done all of the work to select these worthy folks. The way it will work is that your cameras and microphones will be turned off, and our president will announce the winners in turn before we hear a few words from each of them in acceptance. At the same time, in the Resources tab that you should be able to see on your screens, we will post links and other information to help you follow their achievements. Please, of course, feel free to take selfies or use your friends to take pictures of you participating in this ceremony so that you can post them on social media and celebrate what will be a great occasion. Let's get the message out about what engineers are doing and what we are recognizing today. Please use the hashtag IMechE Awards if you do. And so, to start us with a few opening words of context, please welcome the 135th President of the Institution of Mechanical Engineers, the one and only Terry Spall.
Well, Colin, thank you for the very kind introduction, and I'd like to add my own warm welcome to everybody. As Colin said, I am the 135th President of the IMechE. As many of you will know, our first president back in 1847 was none other than George Stephenson, who gave the world the locomotive. Well, his achievements certainly go well beyond my own, but my presidency comes after a 40-year career in the automotive industry, with 31 of those as a chartered mechanical engineer. Like many, though, I started with an apprenticeship, and then I went on to university after, getting a degree from University of Central Lancashire, and then later an MSc from Lancaster University. And through my career, I've moved around the automotive industry, spending time in technical and then managerial roles with vehicle manufacturers, including people like Leyland Trucks and Nissan Cars. And for most of my career, working in research and development, 25 years in all, actually, with Ariba Myra, with responsibilities in vehicle programs, international operations, and over 10 years with Ariba Myra, when I was commercial director involved in their technology park project. And that's something I'm really proud of in my career, because it's one of the things that I started at with day one and saw it through to completion. Now employs 1,500 people, 40 top automotive companies, and engaged in some of the really amazing future automotive technologies like driverless cars and electrification. And for that, we won the Queen's Award in 2018. So enough about me. Let me tell you about this award ceremony. So I am delighted to welcome you to this year's virtual Visionary and Prestige Award ceremony. The awards recognise each of you as the inspirational engineers of today, with the passion you all have, to make a difference to society and the wider engineering profession. Engineering is a very fast-changing field, and these awards celebrate the potential of young engineers as well as academic and professional excellence. The awards are our way, really, of recognising engineers for their contributions, for what they've done and what they continue to do to make, really for the benefit of society tomorrow. Engineers make major contributions that have a really positive impact on our lives, lives of millions of people, and this influence is not surpassed by many other professions. In fact, it was the Duke of Edinburgh, if I recall correctly, who said everything not invented by God is invented by an engineer. Maybe he's right, I don't know. But through your actions and your successes, you certainly inspire the next generation, and your innovative ideas will be of great significance in changing the future for the benefit of society. Engineering skills, often in the news, have become ever more valuable, as the digital revolution gathers pace. So your engineering experience has given you the tools you need to have the best chance of succeeding in this fast-changing world, namely technical know-how, problem-solving, and communication skills. As problem solvers, engineers play a really vital role in shaping the way forward, particularly during this pandemic, and also in the life that we'll have after the pandemic. The talent we see here today is truly impressive. I've looked at all of the award winners, and it's an absolutely true statement. Very, very impressive young people. And I hope that the award recipients will continue to keep pushing the boundaries and believe in themselves. And I encourage you all really to create the world that's never been. And the world's future really is in your hands. And I'm proud to say that our institution has a role to play there. The institution continues to grow. We've got 119,000 members, and that figure includes our international membership, which stands at around 30,000 members. So 25% of our total membership now in a staggering 140 countries, which is clear evidence of the global significance of the institution and the far reach of our great profession. So I'd just like to wish the very best of luck to all of our award winners today, and I will now hand back to the good Dr. Brown.
Thank you, Terry. I think you speak for all of us, though, when you highlight the importance of engineering and encouraging more people into it to encourage a diverse profession. It's something we would all like to see. So I now like to introduce the first group of awards being presented today, which are the Vision Awards. These underpin our goal to improve the world through engineering by inspiring, preparing, and supporting tomorrow's engineers to respond to society's challenges. Each year, the institution selects candidates to be visionaries. To be a visionary candidate must not only have demonstrated excellent academic credentials, but also shown initiative and a proactive approach in how the candidate has used their engineering skills in the development of their own career and made a wider contribution to the development of the profession. I'm now going to ask Bob Dewhurst, who is chair of the institution's Engineering Technician Awards Committee, to give you some background on the first of these awards to be presented.
Thank you, Colin. Good afternoon to you all. A little bit about me first. I was introduced to the institution by a former lecturer at my college. And as Colin now said, I'm now chair of the committee running the Apprentice and EngTech Awards. I'm proud to say I had a career of nearly 40 years in Rolls-Royce Civil Aerospace in the structural analysis of engines. In lay terms, that's how much they bend and how much they shake about. I've also had a lifelong interest in motorsport and built and competed in my own Formula V single-seater. I don't know if you follow touring cars, but the new British touring car champion, Ash Sutton, started his car racing career in Formula V. There you go. It never worked for me that well, but never mind. Just before the presentation, I'd like to give you a brief description of our EngTech Visionary Award. EngTech is a mark of professionalism, confirming that an engineering technician's knowledge, skills, and commitment meet the highest standards. As Colin has already said, visionaries are the engineers of our future, excelling in their professional careers as well as inspiring others around them. The EngTech Visionary Award recognises individuals who've made a significant contribution by promoting and growing our institution's EngTech registration, either in their work as an engineer or in roles such as a manager, supervisor, lecturer, mentor, trainer, or HR professional. I'm pleased to be able to tell you that this year's winner is described by the judges as someone who is an enthusiastic promoter of EngTech registration with the Royal Navy apprentices he works with. He leads by example, having become EngTech registered himself, and keenly promotes CPD and the ongoing benefits of being a member of a professional engineering institution. He expects a high level of commitment and performance from all the apprentices he assesses. He encouraged them to apply for registration once they complete their apprenticeship, and he's a great advocate for getting involved with a professional engineering institution and taking ownership of your own development. Before I hand over, I'd like to personally congratulate all of you receiving awards here today and thank all of those attending. If you have any ideas how we can improve these awards, please let me know. We value your feedback. I'd like to wish you all the best in your future careers. Don't forget, the institution is here to support you in lots of different ways, so please keep in contact. I'll now hand you back to Terry.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Let's get the show on the road then. The IMechE Visionary Award. I am delighted to be able to announce that the award this year goes to Matthew Crofts.
I am Matthew Crofts, and I've won the IMechE Visionary Award for 2020. I work for Babcock International Marine Training in HMS Sultan in the Defence School of Marine Engineering in Gosport. This is very much a surprise for me, as I had no idea I'd been nominated. That aside, I feel greatly honoured, firstly to be nominated and then to be recognised with a prestigious award. My daily work is as an assessor and an independent quality assurer on IQA with our level 2, 3 and 4 Royal Navy, RFA and Army Marine Engineering apprenticeships. This means I review the trainees in HMS Sultan and on board the ships and submarines in the various RN dockyards around the UK. I assess their practical application for their engineering learning and ensure they are gaining the competence required to be awarded with their apprenticeship. I also review their written evidence to ensure it's met the standard. I enjoy working with the apprentices and seeing them grow and develop. And overall, I also IQA the entire process. It's a great feeling to be recognised for my continued work, promoting and explaining the benefits of IMechE to the Royal Navy, RFA and Army Marine Engineering apprentices, and helping them on their career and journey through the apprenticeship programme and then on to membership with IMechE and with their professional registration. I would like to thank my close colleague Chris Matthews, who does the exact same work as me and with promoting IMechE. I'd also like to thank the Defence Liaison Officer for IMechE, Jill Dwyer, and Babcock Marine Training and the apprenticeship teams for supporting and funding my work through my journey with IMechE. Thank you.
Well, congratulations, Matthew. Absolutely fantastic. Let me hand back to Colin Brown.
We will now move on to the presentation of the Scholarship Visionary Award. This recognises the award holder who have been in receipt of an institution's scholarship, taking into consideration their progress and achievements and also their future potential. I would like to invite Mark Claxton, Vice Chair of the Scholarship Awards Committee, to give you a brief background to this award. Mark.
Thank you, Colin. Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Claxton. I'm a member of the institution, Vice Chair of the Scholarship Awards Committee, and a former IMechE undergraduate scholar myself. I currently work as a project manager, leading a range of energy design projects with teams of up to 300 multidisciplinary engineers. And I also lead the engineering management group of around 50 senior engineers across multiple projects. But enough about me. The Scholarship Awards Committee is responsible for selecting the visionary in the Scholarship's Visionary Award category. They're normally selected from previous undergraduate scholarship award holders who have completed their degree in the preceding year. As part of the selection process, the committee reviews the comments made each year on the candidates' annual reports, and then the shortlisted candidates are asked to submit a written synopsis covering what it meant to them to have that undergraduate scholarship, what they're currently doing for the IMechE or engineering, and what they think the future for engineering is. Each of the synopses is reviewed by the committee, and we select a winner. I'm pleased to inform you that this year's winner has been chosen as a result of her belief that engineering should be a tool for positive change and development, focusing on the human and environmental benefits. I'll now hand over to Terry to announce this year's winner.
And thank you, Mark. So I'm really delighted to announce that this year's Scholarship Visionary Award goes to NATASHA Wilson.
I'm Natasha Wilson, and I've won the IMechE Scholarship Visionary Award 2020. I'm currently filming this from Uganda on the site of one of our cold stores, working with the Smart Villages Research Group, a small but globally connected non-profit organisation looking at how engineering and development can help with development, primarily in off-grid African rural communities. So a typical day working for this organisation could see me wiring, sorry, there's cockroaches in the background, could see me in a field in Tanzania wiring up solar inverters or putting up solar panels. I could be investigating the characteristics of borehole pumps, or looking here, we're looking at how we could improve insulation for cold stores for rural communities, and we could be holding focus groups in rural communities, working with our international partners, and when I'm back in the UK, helping write more funding applications to help promote future projects. I'm based in Cambridge, but my work often sees me out in these communities in Uganda and Tanzania, trying to help our partners help their projects to progress and see how we can make positive change. I didn't actually apply to receive this award, and it was a real surprise when I received the email. I think it just moved on from having been sponsored by the IMechE through my 4 years at uni. But it was a big confidence boost receiving this award, and made me realise how fortunate I've been to have so many opportunities whilst at university that I could write about in my yearly reports. And it's also helped me remember that the work I'm doing right now is also super worthwhile, and it's a great reason for doing engineering. I'd like to thank my parents for their support, helping me get where I am today, the University of Cambridge for giving me so many opportunities during my degree, and also the IMechE for their continuous support, and actually the funding grant that they gave me to go to Tanzania for the first time with a student-led organisation to do development work, which really opened my eyes to the work that non-profit organisations can do, and has probably led to me applying for this job where I am today. Thank you.
Well, many congratulations, Natasha. Really great result. Okay, let's now move on to the next award category, and I'm going to hand back to Colin Brown.
Thank you, Terry. I think I've got to say congratulations to the cockerel as well in that little video. I think that deserves an award. We're now going to move on to the presentation, however, here of the Whitworth Visionary Award, which recognises the achievements of award holders who've been in receipt of a Whitworth Scholarship Award, taking into consideration their progress and achievements and their future potential. I would like to invite Professor Carl Dern, Chair of the Whitworth Awards panel, to give you a brief introduction to this award. Carl.
Thank you very much, Colin. So my name is Carl Dern. I hold a chair in mechanical engineering at the University of Birmingham. I'm a double Whitworth scholar and have the privilege of being the chair of the Whitworth Awards panel. And it is that panel that is responsible for identifying potential holders of the award in the Whitworth Visionary Award category. And these, as Colin has just mentioned, are typically selected from previous Whitworth Award holders who have subsequently been elected to a Whitworth scholarship. As part of the selection process, the Whitworth Awards panel takes into account a number of considerations for outstanding individuals. These include things like a willingness to act as ambassadors for both the Whitworth Scholarships Awards scheme, the legacy of Sir Joseph, and the society founded to bring closer those who benefited from Sir Joseph Whitworth's generosity so that his memory can be kept alive. The Whitworth Visionary Award holder will, by definition, as a Whitworth scholar, be a high academic achiever and will have the confidence and enthusiasm to convey their experiences, to motivate others, and to provide some indication of the opportunities, the challenges, and responsibilities which face today's scholars. I'm very pleased to be, in fact, delighted to be able to tell you that the Whitworth Awards panel describes this year's winner as someone, first of all, whose achievements since his election as a Whitworth scholar in 2000 are very difficult to articulate in just a few words. In many respects, he embodies the modern day Whitworth scholar. Today's scholars, although rooted in practical engineering, are as likely to work in IT, insurance, business consultancy as they are in engineering. Our Whitworth visionary is someone who's displayed extraordinary levels of creativity, determination and tenacity throughout his career. From being the first person to windsurf across the English Channel back in 2003, to spending time with Richard Branson on Necker Island in 2016, brainstorming for Virgin Unite. As founder and director of Amplified Future, he works to deliver consultancy and executive director services to organisations making massive impacts, solving real-world problems, particularly related to the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. He possesses a disruptive insight into how teams work and how those teams can then be used to get the best out of the people that work in them. As president of the Whitworth Society, he's applied precisely that insight in modernising or digitising our society, breathing new life into it. This reformation is a tough balance between avoiding or alienating our more mature scholars, you could say, while simultaneously engaging our more digitally minded newer members. And he's done this brilliantly, reinvigorating the society for which, as a member of that society, I think I can state we are all very, very grateful. If there ever was a personification of a Whitworth visionary, then I can think of no better example than this year's winner. I'll now hand back to Terry to make the announcement.
Well, thank you, Carl. Certainly got a very, very impressive CV already. I'm delighted to announce that the Whitworth Visionary Award this year goes to James Potten. Congratulations, James.
Hi everyone, James Potten here from Bristol. I'm blown over to have been awarded the 2020 Whitworth Visionary Award, so thank you. Look, the knowledge I gained during my engineering apprentice programme at Honeywell and my master's in mechanical engineering at Cardiff was just incredible. So great foundations to build on, and it actually, was the start of my entrepreneurial journey. So I've built 5 technology-related startups since 2000. One to over 50 people, and it's all because of the engineering mindset and the tools you're given and the sort of systematic view of how things need to sort of fit together. So that's just an amazing start in life that I had. So thank you for that too. Engineering world. I'm also grateful to have been given the award because during this sort of pandemic period, I was trying to catalyse high performance for remote engineering teams, and that's that's what's been recognised in receiving the award. So thank you for that. And yeah, 2020 has been difficult for many people. Unfortunately, I lost my father, not to the pandemic, but that's been difficult in these times. But I also welcome my son. So they unfortunately missed each other by 3 weeks. But this award I'd like to give to my wife Soph and to my mum Rose, who've been amazing through these highs and lows. So thanks once again, and wish we could be there to collect it in person, but this is the next best thing. So thank you.
And let's move on now to our next award. So I'm going to hand back to Colin Brown.
Thanks, Terry. We now move on to the presentation of the Young Member Visionary Award, which recognises all-round excellence both in engineering and in volunteering. I'd like to run a video now from Ben Vallely, who is chair of our Young Members Board, to give you a brief background to this award.
My name is Ben Vallely and I'm chair of the Young Members Board. One of the perks of being on the Young Members Board Executive is getting to judge the Young Member of the Year Awards, and this year's applications have once again made our job difficult. We love learning about the amazing things being conducted across our global Young Members network, and trying to pick a winner is, as I'm sure you can understand, an incredibly tricky task. The Young Member Visionary Award is presented annually to a member whose application best demonstrates an all-round excellence in both engineering and volunteering. This year's winner stood out amongst a field of very high-quality applicants. Still to undertake their final year of an undergraduate master's programme, the winner has, whilst taking part in a placement year at Jaguar Land Rover, been the only undergraduate selected for their Leadership Excellence programme. Working with the WISE campaign on the first Northern Ireland hub, the winner has developed partnerships with their university and local role models to support women in engaging with male-dominated STEM careers. They are a STEM ambassador working with primary-aged children, have been a local counsellor for the International Association for the Exchange of Students for Technical Experience, are the president of their university's consulting society, and actively mentor 20 female engineers internationally who look for career advice and general guidance. On top of this, our winner was invited to be sole advisory project engineer for a Greek humanitarian aid NGO, delivering projects through engineering principles to help refugees of war. They've been invited to consult on the Greek government's social care policy on European funding, and at university have used their engineering background to design humanitarian aid packages through Engineers Without Borders. They are a strong role model themselves, embodying their core belief that engineering is fundamentally about solving problems and making positive changes to help others. They are now also our 2020 Young Member Visionary.
I've got to say I like the red bow tie, Ben. Looking forward to you wearing that more often. Now I hand over to Terry Spall to announce the winner of this year's award.
Okay, well, thank you, Colin. And I'm delighted to announce that the winner of the Young Member Visionary Award for this year is none other than Anastasia Perisinikis. So congratulations, Annie, and let's look at your video.
Hi, I'm Annie Perisinikis. I've been nominated for this year's Young Member Visionary Award, and I'm just so grateful and honoured. The IMechE have always offered so much support and CPD for members at all stages of their career and development. So to sit here after benefiting so much from their resources and accept this award is just very surreal for me. I'm an engineer for Jaguar Land Rover at the moment in manufacturing strategy and planning, and I'm based in the West Midlands. This is happening while I'm on placement from my chemical engineering MEng at Queen's University Belfast. I also run my own software company where I'm trying to help the social care sector in the UK, and I try to apply my skill set and problem solving knowledge to problems around the world wherever I can find time and wherever I can get my hands in. So I've decided to accept this award because I've always felt really restricted by the boxes I've been put in, either as a woman or an engineer or an immigrant or a young carer. So if my profile can show anybody that if you decide to choose engineering as a vocation, it will perforate your life in so many different ways and those around you. And actually, if you choose to use your skill set, you can have so much positive impact, and it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. I'd really like to thank my nominator, Yingwen Lo. She's been a constant source of inspiration and mentorship for me, both as a young woman and an engineer. And also I'd like to extend that to Sinead O'Sullivan. I'd also like to thank my managers, Tim and Rich, and my friend and colleague, Ken, and of course my parents for their constant patience and support, as well as my business founding team. Thank you very much for listening.
Well, that was fantastic, Anastasia. Many congratulations again. Really great. So let's go on now. I'm going to hand back to Colin Brown to tell us about the next award. So back to you, Colin.
Thanks, Terry. Let's move on to the presentation of the institution's 5 Prestige Awards. The institution's Prestige Awards mark the achievements of eminent engineers and of outstanding engineers showing great promise in the early stages of their careers. For this section, we're indebted to Professor Richard Folkeson, Chair of the institution's Trustee Board Awards Committee and President of the institution from 2015 to 2016, for all of the hard work in selecting this year's winners. I'll hand you over to Richard to give you some background on the Prestige Prizes and Awards.
Thank you very much, Colin, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm delighted to be able to introduce the Prestige Awards this afternoon. And like Terry, I also spent my working career in the automotive industry. I was a chief engineer at Ford Motor Company and was the project manager for the original Ford Focus and the Ford Transit products, which I'm sure you're familiar with. I'll start by saying a few words about the background surrounding the presentations that are about to be made. The Prestige Awards celebrate and recognise excellent engineering. They champion engineers who've improved the world or advanced the discipline of engineering, both through professional and volunteering efforts. In addition to the awards that we're celebrating here today, the institution has some 150 awards which are funded from the IMechE's trust funds, which comprise the legacies to the institution under the wills of late members and sums of money collected or donated to the institution for specific purposes under deeds of trust. These members were passionate about the opportunities that they had enjoyed and wanted future generations to benefit from these opportunities too. So we're grateful for their generosity to support our members throughout their engineering careers. Awards range from educational awards for conference travel, volunteering, continuing professional development awards, university awards for best student and best projects. Also, for papers published and achievements awarded by the various divisions and groups through the Prestige Awards, which champion engineers who've improved the world or advanced the discipline of engineering, both through professional and volunteering efforts. Details of all of our prizes and awards are available on our website at www.imeche.org/awards. And the link is available in the resources tab for this webcast. Each year, the Trustee Board Awards Committee calls for nominations for the Prestige Awards and is tasked with considering all of these at its May meeting. The committee was delighted to be able to recognise the achievements of some truly remarkable engineers from the nominations received, and I'd like to personally congratulate all of the winners. I'll now hand back to Terry Spall to announce the winners of this year's Prestige Awards. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Richard. Okay, the first of our Prestige Awards is the James Clayton Prize. Now, this was first presented in 1945, and it's regarded as the most prestigious annual award made by the Institution of Mechanical Engineers, and that can go to a member or members of the institution at any grade, so it could be anything from affiliate right through to fellow. The award is made for an exceptional contribution to mechanical engineering, related science, technology, and invention. Achievement will be best demonstrated by way of a recent product or research project or experimental work from either an industrial or academic source in any geographic location, so anywhere in the world, over a typical period of, let's say, the last 5 years. And I've got great pleasure this year now to announce that in 2020, the James Clayton Prize is awarded to someone who has made outstanding contributions in the field of fluid machinery. So, ladies and gentlemen, the James Clayton Prize for 2020 is awarded to Professor Ahmed Kovacic. So well done, Ahmed, and we'll now see a short video of Professor Ahmed accepting his prize. So let's run that VT.
My name is Ahmed Kovacic. I am Howden and Royal Academy of Engineering Research Chair in Compressor Technology at City University of London. I am honoured and delighted to receive this prestigious James Clayton Prize. It was a very pleasant surprise to me, and it certainly would not be possible without my predecessors, Professor Ian Smith and Nicola Stosic, who 25 years ago established and for many years after that led what now is a world-renowned Center for Compressor Technology, of which I am director since 2014. Being a part of Thermofluids Research Center at City, this is an important hub for developments of fluid machinery and a platform for knowledge exchange through courses, conferences, and other educational activities. This prize is also a great tribute to my strong, young, and enthusiastic team, without whom this wouldn't be possible. Thank you, Sham, Matthew, Alex, Brijesh, Yang, Nasheen, Dominic, Afia, and all colleagues at City University. Earlier this year, I was awarded prestigious Royal Academy of Engineering Research Chair in Compressor Technology, supported by my long-term industrial partner, Howden. This will help me to strengthen the industry-academia links and continue moving the technology of rotating machines to a new level. Receiving this prestigious prize is reassurance that the work which I'm doing is important, both for industry and academia. I'm grateful to the colleagues from the Board of Fluid Machinery Group, Dr. Martin Yates and Professor George Agidis, who nominated me for this prize, and I hope I will be able to justify their trust by helping future developments of technologies which will lead to a lesser polluted, more sustainable and happier world. Thank you.
Well, congratulations, Ahmed. Really, really fantastic result and richly deserved. So well done. So let me move on now to our next award, which is the Thomas Hawksley Gold Medal. So the Thomas Hawksley Fund was founded by the late Charles Hawksley, who was a member of the council of our institution between 1913 and 1917. And that was to commemorate the centenary of the birth of his father, the late Thomas Hawksley, FRS, who was president of our institution in 1876 to 1877, making him the 15th president. The fund provides for the presentation of the annual Thomas Hawksley Lecture and the award of a gold medal, which is presented for the best original paper published by the institution during the preceding year. Where there are joint authors, and that's the case today as well, the other authors will receive a bronze replica of the medal. So the award this year is for a paper entitled Catheter Steering in Interventional Cardiology, Mechanical Analysis and Novel Solution. And this was published in the Proceedings of the Institution of Mechanical Engineers, Part H, the Journal of Engineering in Medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the Thomas Hawksley Gold Medal this year are Awaz Ali, Amy Sakes, Ewart Arkanabot, Paul Sanselmans, Remy van Starkenberg, Tamas Sisley Torak, and Paul Breedveld. Many congratulations to you all. We're going to have a look at your video. Thank you very much.
My name is Awaz Ali, and I won the Thomas Hawksley Gold Medal for the PhD work that I did at Delft University of Technology. My PhD was focused on the development of multi-steerable instruments, catheters for interventional cardiology, and working on this paper is something that we did with a multidisciplinary team. So there was a physician involved, a professor of mechanical engineering, PhDs with different backgrounds, and then even a precision technician. Winning this prize was especially meaningful because we did this work as a multidisciplinary team, and it really feels like an acknowledgement from the scientific field. As you can see, I'm currently located at my home office, which is in the Netherlands. I don't work in engineering anymore. I currently work for a large medical devices company where I'm working with clinical trials. But I do have to be honest, I missed the engineering part, and I do hope that one day I get to combine both of these together again in order to work on medical devices that can extend people's lives. I would like to thank you for this prize, and I would like to thank all of the co-authors who worked together with me on this paper and on this work. Thank you very much.
Well, Awaz, thank you for the video. That was really informative, and my sincere congratulations to all of the team on winning that award. That's a really amazing achievement. So let me now move on to the next award, which is the IMechE Award for Risk Reduction in Mechanical Engineering. Now this is the Safety Award in Mechanical Engineering, and the Safety Award in Engineering Fund was established by Holman Brothers back in 1955 with a donation of £700. And in 2011, the title of this award was changed from the Safety Award in Mechanical Engineering to Risk Reduction in Mechanical Engineering, really to reflect the 21st century understanding of risk to health and safety practices. The award recognises any eminent engineer who, in the opinion of the trustee board, has contributed most to the understanding and or reduction of risk in any area of mechanical engineering. Now, this may include reducing dangerous dust arising from mining and industrial tunnelling during the removal of rock from the surface or underground, as in the original bequest, but no, could also be for other aspects of reducing risk to health through the application of improved mechanical engineering. And there's many different examples of that over recent years with people who've really helped to move things along in reducing risk. And it gives me great pleasure to announce that the IMechE Award for Risk Reduction in Mechanical Engineering is awarded for the papers entitled Strain Gradient Plasticity Based Modelling of Hydrogen Environment Assisted Cracking, and also a phase field formulation for hydrogen assisted cracking. And the IMechE Award for Risk Reduction in Mechanical Engineering goes to Emilio Martinez Pineda, who's been recognised for his significant, sustained and verifiable contributions in the area of reducing risk in mechanical engineering. That's Run VT, congratulations.
My name is Emilio Martinez Pineda, and have been awarded the IMechE Prestige Award for Risk Reduction in Mechanical Engineering. I consider myself both an engineer and a scientist, and I work as lecturer in Mechanics and Materials at Imperial College London, where I am at the moment. Here at Imperial College, I lead the Mechanics of Infrastructure Materials Research Group, where I supervise a number of talented PhD students and researchers. We try to understand how materials and structures behave, to anticipate when failures will occur and prevent them. I believe that this award recognizes our efforts in developing computer models that can predict when material degradation and fracture will happen. This includes understanding and preventing phenomena such as hydrogen embrittlement, stress corrosion cracking, or corrosion fatigue, which often lead to catastrophic failures and are important problems for the construction, energy, transport, and defense sectors. In addition, I think that this award recognizes the fact that we haven't limited our research to academic problems, but that our models have been used by our industrial partners to enhance safety and optimize fitness for service assessment. I am very grateful to those that nominate me, to the award committee, and to the Institution of Mechanical Engineers for the important work that you do. Thank you.
Well, huge congratulations to Emilio. Really fantastic result. Moving on now to the next award, which is the Alistair Graham Bryce Award. Now, this was introduced quite recently, actually, in 2015, from a request made in 2012 of £50,000 under the will of Dr. Alistair Graham Bryce. And the bequest was specifically to be used with a wish that the said sum shall be used for funding of a prize to be awarded annually for 10 years to the individual or group who have made a significant contribution to the encouragement of young people towards a career in engineering. The recipient of the award is someone who has been recognised for his significant and outstanding contribution to numerous educational STEM projects for children and adults alike. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really pleased to announce that the recipient of the Alistair Graham Bryce Award this year is Jude Pullin. Congratulations, Jude.
Absolutely thrilled to have been awarded this award for 2020. In case you don't know, this award is basically to acknowledge people who've helped encourage young people into the subject of engineering. So for me, this is incredibly meaningful, as I actually grew up in rural Cumbria and ended up having a very messy, checkered career path before actually finding that I could actually become a designer and engineer. So in many ways, it was actually a TV show called Better by Design from Seymour and Powell that actually made me completely change my life around and get into it. So in some ways, even though I've had the pleasure of working on things like Big Life Fixed with the BBC and most recently with David Jason on Channel 4 on Great British Inventions, it's actually something that I feel has been a culmination of lots of very unusual and fun projects, from making space pods to radio globes to cardboard loop-the-loops with my son. So it's been a very sort of diverse and exciting career, and I'd highly recommend it to anyone. I guess within that, I would always love to thank my wife and of course my parents for their support, but as I mentioned, my son is always a continued source of inspiration and creativity, and just a bundle of energy and joy as well. So yeah, if you're interested in getting into engineering, I'd highly recommend it, and thank you again for the award.
Well, congratulations, Jude. That's absolutely fantastic. So we now move on to our final presentation, which is actually one of my favourite awards, actually, and it's called the Verena Winifred Holmes Award. If you don't know, Verena Holmes joined our institution as our first female member in 1924, representing a very welcome breakthrough for equal rights in early 20th century Britain, and a very significant moment in our institution's history. This award was previously known as the Equality and Diversity Award. Is intended to recognise those individuals who've undertaken a unique challenge or experience, perhaps to benefit people from groups with different needs or with a past record of disadvantage or low participation in the institution or indeed in engineering. They've stretched the normal boundaries of expectation for the benefit of the wider society, which often requires persistence, and absolutely it requires courage to do that. So the winner of this award should have demonstrated that they value difference and recognise that innovation is stimulated by embracing diversity, by listening to and respecting the perspectives of others, and by constructive engagement and by dialogue. Now, the winner of this year's Verena Winifred Holmes Award has been granted the award for his significant contributions and commitment to diversity, inclusiveness of engagement, and the development of technology specifically designed to benefit disadvantaged communities and people in the underdeveloped world. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am really delighted to announce that the recipient of the Verena Winifred Holmes Award for this year is Daniel Ronen. Congratulations, Daniel, and let's have a look at your video.
I am delighted and deeply honoured to accept the Verena Winifred Holmes Award from the Institution of Mechanical Engineers for my work and commitment to equality and diversity. When the institution was founded almost 175 years ago, its founders intended to create a space for engineers to come together to discuss, to collaborate, and find ways to overcome and solve the myriad of problems they faced as the world industrialised and raced towards modernisation, and in doing so, leave a positive legacy for those that followed. I have dedicated much of the last few years of my life to the innovation and application of unmanned drone technology as a platform for improving the welfare and life chances of people living in the world's most remote and impoverished regions. I have travelled to many parts of the world, talking to people who would benefit from such innovations, such as Elizabeth, the health worker I met at a remote clinic in Malawi, to government ministers who are having to deal with technology developing faster than their regulations can keep up. Be it through new ways to deliver medical supplies to isolated villages, the development of sustainable agriculture, or rangers protecting wildlife and the natural environment, I have been constantly inspired by that spark of human spirit that innovates to make things better. At this time of unprecedented uncertainty and disruption to our normal way of life, it is my hope that this award will inspire others to innovate and apply technology in an ethical and inclusive way to solve the problems and challenges we face and to build a positive and lasting legacy for our children and the generations to follow. Thank you. This is a tremendous honour.
Well, congratulations, Daniel. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the Vision and Prestige Awards ceremony for this year. I hope you've enjoyed it. Congratulations once again to all our award winners. I think you should all be proud of your achievements, and I hope that you all continue to flourish in your careers and endeavours, whatever they may be. You should be aware, of course, that there's no such thing as a free award. And we look forward to maintaining contact with you all as you really make further progression through your careers, you know, to hear your new stories and, of course, to hear of your continuing successes. We also encourage you to pay it forward as well. And what we mean by that is to help to spread the word of our 2021 awards across your networks and social platforms. So, you know, we can continue to get together, really inspire and promote celebrating engineering. That's what it's all about. And if you can help us to do that, that would be really appreciated. I'd like to particularly recognise and personally thank all the volunteers of the various award committees who have given literally hundreds of hours freely over the years in ensuring the ongoing development and vibrancy of our engineering profession through recognising outstanding achievement. And that leaves me with our important friends and sponsors and our family here at the Institution of Mechanical Engineers. The IMechE, including our amazing staff who've all been involved in making this year's awards such a success. Well, my sincere thanks to you all. A really, really great job. Thanks, guys. And my final comment is aimed at today's award winners. If you are familiar with the institution's mission statement, you know, I'd like to encourage you all really to go out there and improve the world through engineering. You are by far the next generation, and our future is absolutely in your hands, and I know that it's in safe hands. So well done to you all. Many congratulations, and thank you everybody for joining our award ceremony. So goodbye. Thank you.